Okay, we're going to do a quick explanation of applicant stack and how the whole process can work. So first of all, let's go all the way to the beginning of hiring. So we have this set up as a redirect, sfp-sackjobs.com. We'll click on that link. That's going to go to the landing page specifically to what the job description is, and we hit apply now. We go to apply now, and we're going to actually see this has basically been the applicant or the application. That we use at all the different concepts. So we're going to do let's put in some stuff real quick just so we can get a chance to see. So we'll do my good old Joe Blow 1 2 3. Of course my keyboard's not working as well as or as fast as I'd like. Main Street, any town. You guys get a chance to see that I'm not the best typist. 1 2 3 4 5. Let's go ahead and go back to some good old movie days of 555 1212 Joe at yahoo.com. You know what? Maybe we'll actually put in my regular email address so that it can actually here they can actually attach a resume if they want. For giggles, why don't we go ahead and let's attach anything. Let's just attach the oven footprint. So you can actually see how it comes through on the other end. They can attach a cover letter. They can actually just paste a cover letter in there. And then here we go into interview or application questions. Thanks for applying. Please answer these questions and we'll get back to you. What are you applying for? Squad member. Have you applied? No. If so, do you have any friends works at restaurants? No. How did you learn about this position? We'll say Craigslist. Are you 18 or ages of older? 18. New hire subject version. They're minimally. We'll say yes. Maybe we need to fix that because it's actually 16 for us. If no, which job description can you not do? We comply with ADA. Consider education high school. All right. And we'll just say that that's got all the information. You can put the high school names, the number of years attended. Yes. No college. See, it has a drop down here, so it's making it a little bit tougher. Most recent employer. Let's Billy's Donut Shack. You get the idea. Start date of employer. Let's say that we work there for all of, let's say, 2 weeks. Donut guy. Donut. Number 2, employer. We just won't fill that information out. Tell us what days you're available. So Mondays we'd say just open. There we go. Initial that you indicate. Oh yeah, so I'm Joe Bag O Donuts. Today's date. and then equal opportunity employment, gender, female, I'll say male, or I choose not to respond. I'm a Native American, and I've got an individual with a disability, or choose not to respond. And hit submit. Okay, so our application now has been received. So what we want to do now is show what it looks like to go to applicant stack. So we're going to go to let's see, mod here. We're going to go to applicant stack. We're going to go as if it's Aaron. And then Aaron's code, which I had saved, and I don't remember what it is right now. It's family of 9. Okay, so this is the login screen for Aaron Marnay. And you can see it can have less information that what we have on my login, which is his is a manager account. Mine is the what do you call it, administrator. So you can see here's the different folks we have for that. So we have Mod Squad. You highlight over it, and you'll see that it says West Sac. And there's a total applicants. 47 applicants on there. There's a new one that just came in. We've had phone screens. It's just they call these the different stages of what's happened with these folks. Like there have been 12 people hired. So the nice thing about this interface is that I can quickly, or Andre, or you can quickly look to see what's going on. So we can actually see, click on this new one that came in, and there's Joe Blow, the person that obviously I just had created. We click on this person, and you'll actually see the interview questions right here. And if there was a resume, which we did actually, I thought we had, yeah, there it is right there. Has it down as oven footprint. For some reason a preview is not available of it. Usually you can actually see a preview of it. We see that there's the answers to those questions. That. Which is basically an exportable, application. There's notes, or there's questionnaires that we can ask, for different things. There's tasks that we can have with it, and there's just basically, like, if nothing else, there's a history of what's happened with this particular. We can add notes, so we can say filter, or we can add a note. Basically, kind of like adding a note to the file. This guy seems great. So as this application comes through, as we're working this application, we can do different things. So let's go back for a second and see summary of this particular person. So right away we teach the managers to say right away, look at this thing. Where is it at? Is this does it pass the initial review or fail the initial review? It just doesn't look like a good candidate. Are we going to pass him or fail him? If we go pass, there you go. We do a pass. And here's where it's going to say we can actually drop down and say different things. Phone screen requests. So you can actually have automatic emails. We have emails that are in here, like a phone screen request, which has certain dialogue sent into it, talking about, hey, we like you. We'd like to go ahead and talk some more with you. Let's set up a time where we can talk on the phone. And this gets emailed to the person. Here's different things. Again, some things not interview request. There's time for second interviews, things like that. So right now it's automatically set to the phone screen, request, and we hit confirm change or stage change. So now this particular person has been in. If we go back to the candidate screen, we go to the home screen. and we have Mod Squad. They're no longer in the new manager review. They're going to be in the phone screen area. So if we click on the phone screen area, you'll see a list of all these particular people, and then you have Joe Blow. So if we go, which I know I've said Joe Bag of Donuts sometimes, so we can also then set the stage to different things. As we go through the process with this person, as we decide what we're going to do. We're going to pass them, we're going to move them on, do we pass them on to a second interview? Eventually, we can go ahead and say, hey, we want to go ahead and hire this person. Okay, so what we're going to do here, just to testing it as we go through the different workflow, we're going to go to set stage. Well, I don't know why it's not showing up there, but we can do it over here and say, hey, we want to hire this person, and we hit submit. And we don't need, it does option, I'll give you the option of sending an email. I'm not really a big fan of emailing someone that they've been hired, and so we don't even have that as an option in that. But again, we're setting the stage to hired, and we hit submit. We don't need to do an email, so we're not going to. We just hit confirm, stage, change. All right. So now that we've done with that, we're going to change to go from recruiting area to onboarding area. So we're going to bring up our onboarding screen. And again, this is still under Aaron's account. And so here's the list of people that are come through here. We have hires, new hires, and there's Joe Blow, who's now been assigned as a new hire. And what we need to do is we need to click on this dude, this guy, and we're going to actually add a checklist to this person. And what you do is you go over here to the far right hand side. We're going to say, hey, I need to send this person a checklist, and we have a couple different checklists. We have the Nevada checklist, we have the SFP mod new hire checklist. We click on that, and it's going to also then drop down who's the employer section, who takes care of the employer section of these particular forms. We're going to leave that as Aaron. The hire section takes care of the hire, assignments as they go, and you can see each thing that goes through. There's page 1, the I-9, who's taking care of each particular thing. It's automatically set to defaults, to the person that was the manager of that particular store. And then we go ahead and hit submit. So now you can actually see these particular things here. These are the user tasks, meaning Aaron, and then there's the areas for the hire. Now the manager can go in right away and get these two things taken care of. So we hit complete, and right away it just asks for different things. That's a P new hire form, page 1, and right away you say, hey, what store? Well, it's mod number 296. Start date, we're going to say is the whatever day. Rate per hour, I'll say it's 11. We put in the what area. Manager conducting orientation. Aaron Marnay. Signature. Marnay. And then the date, the 30th. And then that's really all there is to it. Because again, a lot of this other information is going to be for the employee to fill out. And then we hit submit. Okay, so now we're going to go back. We can hit new task. Here's the notice to employee. This is the employer section. Again, let's go back just so we can see what I'm talking about. Whoops, I accidentally cleared out of that thing altogether. Let's go over here. Hopefully I got that right. There it is. So again, we're going to make sure that we're up in the, not in the recruiting, but the onboarding section. We have hires. We have Joe Blow. Now it's been 6% complete. We go to their home screen, and you can see it has the notice to employee for what the manager has to complete. So we click on that. So then we have start date. Start date, we'll say is the 29th. Rate of pay. Overtime rate of pay. I don't know. I guess I could do my quick math and say, what is 11 times 1.5? 1650. I should know that. Every other Tuesday. All the information is there already. Print name of employer representative. Whoops. May. Signature. There we go. And we hit submit. Okay. So now we go ahead and close this section out. Okay, now we can see that the employer's information is basically filled out at this point. There's certain things over here that need to be done by the employee first, and then it kicks back up to the employer or the manager to take care of. So you can see that as a manager access, they cannot access these things. These need to be done by Joe Blow. So let's take a look and see. I should have received an email, from this to invite me to actually get this taken care of. So here's first of all, here's that email I was talking about. Hey Joe, I would like to schedule a phone call with you to further discuss your qualifications for this job. Please send me upcoming dates, times when you're available. So that's the standard message that went out. Makes it real quick, easy, that kind of thing. Again, here was the automatic email when he had sent. Thank you for applying at mod SFP. I don't see the email yet pertaining to the the onboarding, so that's a little bit frustrating. I'm not sure what happened there. I would think that would be going through. Usually that is, so we can actually hit email hire right here. Let's see what happens. Airman Marnay to Joe Blow. Choose a template. Welcome to the hiring process. That might be what it is. Oh, there it is. See, that's what you're supposed to do, send an email. I thought that this did it automatically. Welcome to the hiring process. We're glad you joined the team. So we're going to hit send. So, at this point now, come on. Let's see. Alright, not showing up. There it is. Okay, Joe Blow, look forward to having you join our team. Please, before you arrive, please take some time to complete your onboarding using the automated onboarding system. You may access the portal here. Here's your password. Okay, so your username, password. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like from the employee perspective. So they click onto that portal. It's got Jeremy there, although the email is Jeremy Sanders. And then that's the login information that was sent. Change your password. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wonder if it'll let me do that. Probably not. Oh, and it does. What do you know? No, I don't want to do that. Proceed to portal. So here you can see the onboarding portal, which has all the different things that they need to fill out. And it doesn't take that long. So an example would be SFP new hire form, and you might remember that we'd already did this with them, and it automatically populates with a bunch of different key information from them. So as it has their information, it has a drop down. What T-shirt size? What's their birth date? Which obviously doesn't make sense that would be the year, but what the heck? Let's get a little crazy. Sex? No, thank you. I'd kill myself. Please type a name. Joe Blow. See, Aaron had already signed this thing. Okay. Received your free T-shirts. Manager. maybe this might be set up wrong because these things are actually supposed to be filled out by the manager. So we might need to fix that. So again, that's it. If something wasn't filled out or if this thing's done the right way, look there it says you are not authorized to complete this form. This form should be completed by the hire. So something's not right. What did I do? Wrong. Oh, emergency, no? Please fill out the form and submit at the bottom to submit this form. I don't see anything wrong with it's saying that something's not right. So it could be that there's two competing because I'm logged into the other account on the same computer, so it's just kind of throwing things off a little bit. But we can hit save and continue finish later to get an idea. So you can see, if nothing else, we're going to hit cancel. And you can see what happened. Oh yeah, see, it's thinking that I'm logged in. Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's seeing me, and it's like they're competing with each other. And that, as opposed to, it's logged in under Aaron as opposed to the employees thing right now. So that's why we're running into that issue. Why it's not letting him complete it for me. So that is basically, you get an idea to see what happens from the employee standpoint. Let's click on this again, or let me tell you what, we'll log out. Let's log out of these things. Let's go in and log out. Let's close that one down. Let's close that one down. And then let's go ahead and open up this portal. You gotta be kidding me. Oh yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what it was. So again, we have the different forms that are here. So you have SAP new hire form. Let's try this again. All the information's there. Medium. What are you? Caucasian. Employee understands. Joe Low. We have an emergency contact in another form. And then we hit submit. Okay, so again, it tells you that, hey, you messed up. You didn't do something right. So which is good. Forces all the different fields to get filled out. And we probably need another thing there for drop down. Okay, so we go to new task. We did the SAP new hire form 1. Then it has the I-9 form. Okay, and it asks the different pertinent information. Again, the nice thing is it populates things automatically. And again, here is birth date again. There it is. Social Security number. Okay, employee his email address. Again, it pulls it from other areas. I'm a citizen of the United States. Or these particular things. Prepare a translator certificate. I do not use a prepare translate. Although we need to update this form because it needs to actually have a hash mark there. Mental note. Going down again, this information specific to the and this is for new hires or rehires, so it doesn't look again, but we've pulled all this information in. This is for the employer to actually, or the manager to fill out. Okay, so we go to the new task, acknowledgement of medical. Again, some of this is very quick and easy. Joe Blow, submit, new task. And you can see that it's actually going back to the I-9 form again. So we need to get a signature here. Today's date, 3/29. And hit submit. So we'll get a new task. Paid sick leave form. Print name is already there, so it's literally just a matter of the employee typing in this information. Okay. So they get a chance to go through all these particular things, just like in new hire documents. If we have this thing set up correct, they are forced to actually do the right, fill it out correctly. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out of this for now, and then I want to show you what it looks like on the employer side, or for the administrator side. So let's log in there. So we're going to log out of Aaron's account, and then let's log into mine. This is Jeremy, and then it's go for mod. Okay. So again, you can see that we have a lot more information here. So let's go and look to, as opposed to recruiting, we can look at onboarding. Well, we'll look at recruiting just for a second. You'll see that the similar thing, 1024 West Sac, is where I can look at a quick down what's going on. How many applicants do we have coming in? How many phone screens do we have? How many people do we have hired at that particular time? How many total people in the system do we have? So let's go over to onboarding, and we can see that we have hires of 105. There's Joe Blow right there. So we can actually click on Joe Blow, and you can see that there's all these completed forms right here. As the forms become complete, you can actually get these forms. And the nice thing too is that you're able to just download the, if I'm not mistaken, it's right here, or we go view all forms. And once they're complete, here they are. And then you can just go ahead and download that form directly into the place you need. So you'll see that the Aaron, at no time during the process, actually saw the Social Security number for Joe Blow. Just didn't see it. It was all generated by him, or Joe Blow, in his interface. That is basically it. Now, the administrator has the ability to go in and actually go do a portal right here and complete different documents in here. Or you can see that there's a bigger interface from editing who gets assigned to it, things like that. So anyway, that's a hopefully somewhat quick, but an idea of how the actual interface works. I'm going to show you one last thing, at least from an administrator standpoint, how this looks, and we can look at a library as we realize we need to change some of these things. So we're going to go to the library, and we said, hey, an example would be new hire page 1. New hire page 1. And let's say we said, female, sex, male, and female. I said, hey, let's go ahead and change that up. I'm going to click over here, edit form, over on the right-hand side. Here, I'm going to hit edit. There's 3 different things. This is a drop-down field, male, female. Why don't I just go ahead and put it in an other? That kind of seems silly. I shouldn't say it seems silly. Nowadays, it's not. I just don't know what to name it. But for now, that's kind of what it is. So we hit save, and that's as easy as how that form was to actually modify and change. We can do other things. Right now, it's an example is this here, manager conducting orientation, and it has these free shirt received, this information. We don't have that as required fields, and we can change that. Let me show you how that's done. So we go to edit the field, and we click on this. Free t-shirts. We say, who's supposed to do this? Well, right now this is actually under the hire. It should be a employer field entry. Okay. Store info, I'm not really sure exactly what that, but that would be employer. It's all about who's actually the one filling out the employer info. This is done by the employer. Training schedule. And these things almost aren't even necessary because, again, we're doing it in other documents. So again, this is competing, kind of things. But we also can decide whether it's required or not. So if we go to edit this I-9, value 1, we're going to again have this as the employer. And then if it's required or not, we can check mark it being required that the form we need to have that part taken care of. Oops. There we go. If we wanted to, I'll give you an example of something else. If for some reason this form needed to be signed in a certain place, all you do is you click on, say, signature. You drag it over, to the place that you want it signed. Then you're going to click on it and say, who do I want signing it? Do I want the hire? Do I want the manager to do it? Is it required? Is it not required? In that. Okay. So we're going to actually delete that field right now. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and save this form. All right. I hope that makes sense. We will look forward to talking some more about.